Am I your fantasy? Girl, tell me your fantasy. Fulfilling your every need. Look, B now. I got a wet, make her wet up the sheets. Bite that pillow, don't you scream. Thug in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. You got pretty, girl, and I am your beast. Spread your legs open, girl, let me feast. Scary movie, how I'm making her scream. No referee, but she tapped out. Now I'm blowing her back out. Don't try to run now. Come in, girl, let's have some fun now. Made you come now, I got a bus now. Another round, then go to a third round. I done beat it so bad she can't walk now. I done ate it so good she can't talk now. Got it hot in this room like the firehouse. Girl, you my fantasy. I'm picturing you right on side of me. My hands on your hips while you riding me. She can't take it off when she ride the D. I know where you wanna be, even when you far away from me. I got you fulfilling your fantasy. Loving me, caress your body, she loving it. We don't speak French, but we tonguing it. Throw me that pussy, won't fumble it. Talking that smack till I'm all in it. Breaking the bed, got us falling in. I'm going so deep, I need oxygen. But no, I'm not stopping. Flintstones, how I got the bed rocking. I'm the one of her fantasy. Roll her up a little blunt and she chillin', she with a G. I'm the one I just gotta be. She know that I'm a thug, but she get inside of me. Kill her pussy, fatality. Got me all of her insides, it feel like anatomy. I'm in love with this fantasy. In love with this fantasy. Love with this fantasy. I'm in love with this fantasy. In love with this fantasy. Love with this fantasy. I'm in love with this fantasy. In love with this fantasy. Love with this fantasy. I'm in love with this fantasy. In love with this fantasy. Love with this fantasy. I'm in love with this fantasy. In love with this fantasy. Love with this fantasy. Even when you ain't right here, girl, I still got this fantasy of you. I mean, just thinking about you just be enough. I'm in love with this fantasy. Looking beautiful just like some flowers. This is the truth, trust me girl, not just rapping. You do some things to my heart, I'm not capping. You can take control of me, get a hold of me. I'ma be your rider like I'm supposed to be. Rolling up inside it like I'm overseas.